Hello and welcome back to the Art Studio. Today for our drawing we're going to concentrate on the theme of still life. I've chosen this theme for a number of different reasons. Firstly, the objects that we need for our still life composition are readily available. We can choose objects from around the house or from the garage or the garden and so on. We can draw the objects individually, first of all. If we want to practice our drawing skills, we can study each of the objects and do a shaded pencil drawing first of all, before we tackle the full composition. We can also work on a still life over an extended period of time, unlike a figure composition or a landscape where things tend to move and change. First of all, when I'm starting a still life or starting any piece of work, what I would really advise you to do is to start lightly, loosely and sketchily to begin with, so that you spend a little bit of time just settling into the drawing. Once you have created that drawing, you just gradually, and I think naturally, lean a little bit harder on the pencil, and you will find that the drawing just establishes itself and becomes a little bit stronger and a little bit bolder on the page. However, it's also a good idea, I think, to deliberately stop looking at the subject so that you can concentrate your attention on the drawing. And by that I mean that it's difficult if your attention is divided between the subject and what you have on the page. And so every so often I think it's a really good idea maybe even to move away from the subject and just to go back over what you've already done and to try and consolidate the drawing that you have completed by making the line a little bit firmer, a little bit more definite, and to establish quite a strong and definite design on the page. It's maybe time for us to think about blocking in some tone and some colour, and this is maybe the sort of design stage where we start to think about the relationships between the light areas, the dark areas, the areas of strong colour and so on. So how are we going to design and arrange our composition in terms of tone and colour? By just blocking those in flat. Once we've done that, we then need to think about highlights and shadows. We will look at the subject, we will try to understand where the light's coming from, think a little bit about the intensity of the light, and just to work it up and to try and make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Once we've done that, we could leave it at that stage and have a realistic approach to our picture. However, at that stage you may wish to enter into what I would call the creative stage of the still life. And during the creative stage, what you're trying to do is to give your picture some expressive qualities. You could darken everything down, you could make things lighter, you could add more texture to it, you could experiment with the technique, you could blend the paint into smooth shading, or you could have a textured surface. You could strengthen the colours, make them bolder and more expressive. There's just lots and lots of different things that you could do to make your picture less photographic and much more expressive.